Greetings! Snow is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful phenomena in nature. However, predicting when it will snow is not easy. It's clear that for precipitation to occur in the form of snow, at least two ingredients need to come together: temperatures, generally at or below 0 degrees, and precipitation. This combination, at first glance, seems quite easy to observe in winter months and often is in mountainous areas at considerable altitudes. But the matter becomes much more complicated when it comes to seeing snow in low-altitude cities. And even more so if we want to see snow at lower altitudes or even at coastal levels. To witness this beautiful phenomenon, you need to be far from the equator, preferably towards the northern hemisphere. If you are in a low-altitude area near the equator, except for mountains, you won't see snow. Snow is a form of precipitation made up of small ice crystals that result from the freezing of water particles in the atmosphere. These particles can gather in the atmosphere and fall to the Earth's surface as what we call snow. These flakes are very cold and fluffy to the touch, and if the precipitation continues, they can cover the landscape in white, a beauty for the eyes. However, the formation of snowflakes is not so simple. These crystals develop within a cloud where specific conditions of humidity, temperature, pressure, density, and volume are right for snow formation. These crystals grow in the atmosphere by absorbing water droplets. When they collide, they stick together, forming snowflakes. For this to happen, temperatures must be around 0 degrees or below in different atmospheric layers, because otherwise, the flake could melt on its way down to the surface. Additionally, each crystal follows a trajectory and has a distinct history within that parent cloud. With multiple ascents and descents, collisions, aggregations, breaks, transitions through areas of different characteristics, and micro-changes of state. Once that crystal leaves the cloud, it encounters atmospheric conditions such as pressure, wind, and temperature that also influence its final appearance or even its existence. Snow crystals are approximately a little over a centimeter in size and come in countless shapes: prisms, hexagonal plates, or the well-known stars. Each flake is unique, but they always have 6 sides. At lower temperatures, the flake is simpler and smaller. Snowflakes can vary in shape and size, always depending on the temperature and humidity. For example, in high humidity conditions, crystals can take on exotic and fascinating forms. When the air is dry, their shape is simple, with hexagonal prisms. There are many types, but these are the most prominent ones. Simple prisms, these are seen when humidity is very low, and temperatures are below 0 degrees. These types of prisms are the basic forms of snowflakes. Their shape can vary from long hexagonal prisms to thin hexagonal plates. The size of these prisms is so small that they are very difficult to see with the naked eye. Star-shaped plates, these can be seen with moderate humidity and temperatures between 0 degrees and 4 degrees below zero. They are the classic snowflake, consisting of laminated ice crystals with 6 arms, wide enough to form a star. Stellar dendrites, formed under conditions of high humidity and between 12 degrees below zero and 16 degrees below zero. They are branched, with 6 main branches and various types of secondary branches. These snowflakes are larger than the previous ones. Hollow columns and needles, these flakes form at temperatures around 5 degrees below zero and lower. Hexagonal shapes sometimes have more conical forms at their ends, making them look like hollow columns. They are very small in size. Triangular crystals, they grow at a temperature of 2 degrees below zero. They usually take on triangular shapes instead of hexagonal ones. Bullet rosettes, under very specific conditions of high humidity, this type of snowflake forms in situations where as the ice crystal forms, several others also form, growing in random orientations. When can it snow? Although snow is often associated with higher mountain areas, the truth is that it can fall in lower areas, such as a beach, but for this to happen, it must be a place where it gets quite cold. To see snowflakes, you need to be in an area far from the equator and experience temperatures close to or below 0 degrees. However, cold alone isn't enough. We also need precipitation. This is the first challenge, combining cold and rain. But even with extreme cold, you won't witness heavy snowfall. With very low temperatures ranging from 10 degrees below zero to 20 degrees below zero, snowfall tends not to be significant. The air at this temperature can't hold much water vapor, and freshly formed ice crystals have limited ability to stick together, not growing much. Wind can carry them and keep them suspended. An example of this is the dry valleys of Antarctica, where there's ice but no snow. In general, the optimal temperature range for seeing snow is between 0 degrees and 9 degrees below zero. Many people think that it's impossible for it to snow above 0 degrees because water becomes liquid above that temperature. However, the reality is that above 0 degrees, it's still possible to see snow, and there's a simple explanation for this. It all depends on humidity. With lower humidity, the cold is drier, and the flakes are more solid. When humidity is close to 100%, the flake is so watery that what falls is rain. With around 30% humidity, you can witness snow even at 4 or 5 degrees, but the snowfall won't be as intense and might not accumulate. I'm one of those people who has always loved checking the temperature, especially in winter, to see if the conditions are right or not, and eagerly waiting to see the first flakes. This humidity concept explains why it's more likely to snow in continental or inland areas rather than coastal regions. Coastal air is somewhat less cold and more humid due to the heat and moisture released by the sea. And might not accumulate. Countries that experience more snowfall are usually located in the northern hemisphere. Northern Japan or the northwest United States are areas with heavy snowfall, but the highest average snow accumulation is in southern Alaska. One of the characteristics of snowflakes that most fascinates scientists is their symmetry. In the realm of mathematics, a symmetrical object is a perfect object, and in some ways, it's the only way snowflakes can survive. Nature, and specifically life, tends to adopt symmetrical forms because they are the most efficient. Snow is a marvel of nature that blankets its surroundings in a beautiful white landscape. For some, snow means cold and laziness. For those who've never seen it, it's intriguing, and for others, like me, it's about curiosity and beauty. A crackling fireplace while watching the flakes fall from the window. Snow inherently carries a mystic, nostalgic, romantic, and even catastrophic feel. It sometimes makes us believe it's something strange, but from my point of view, with its exquisite symmetry, its silence, and its pure color to our eyes, there's only one word that defines it: beauty. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, share it on social media, and leave your comment.